Welcome to the Sundown Show. On this show, we bring you the movers and shakers of South Sudan and the world over. We engage in debates and discussions that unearth the stories behind the news. And we have our light moments too by chit-chatting about issues that affect our day-to-day life. Stay right here on the Sundown. Join in and be part of the show on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
برنامج سانداون هو وجهتكم للأخبار والآراء والنقاشات والحوارات. استمعوا إلى البرنامج حيث يتحدث فيه أصحاب القرار عن قضايا تؤثر في بلدنا وغارتنا، فقط عبر برنامج سانداون على آي راديو. عينك على جنوب السودان.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the Sundown Show on our radio. I am Mapal. Today is Wednesday, November 26, 2025. The program comes to you on Monday to Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. for a comprehensive look at daily events, the latest information, in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews and exciting surprises. To be part of the show, call us on 0911-986-986 or 0922-986-986, and you can send us a text message on +211 or 0913-986-986. If you can't access the radio, we are also online on Facebook, X, YouTube, and more. You can also stream this broadcast live by logging on to our website www.iradio.org. And today in the first hour, we joined the world in marking the start of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence from November 25th to December 10th. This year, the world calls for action under the theme End Digital Violence Against All Women and Girls, while South Sudan's national theme urges us to protect women and girls from digital abuse and exploitation. Digital spaces, once meant for connection and learning, have increasingly become platforms for harassment, sextortion, cyberbullying, stalking, and image-based abuse. Much of this goes unreported due to stigma, weak laws, and limited awareness. To help us unpack these realities, we are joined by three experts working directly with women, girls, youth, and communities across South Sudan. Sarah Dieu, Gender and Youth Technical Lead at Nile Hope Organization. And then we also have Victoria Peter Amidi. Is it? Kristen Poor.
Yeah, Kristen Poor.
We are also joined by Kristen Poor, and lastly we are joined by Clement Gubuzi, Country Director, Action Against Hunger. You're all welcome to the Sundown Show on this particular discussion.
Thank
you. That's great. To begin with, I think we have to begin with you, the Country Director, Clement Gubuzi. What is this activism against gender-based violence at the first place?
But why don't you start with ladies? Ladies first. Come on, man. This is really about. We talk about gender-based violence, and the women should start, right?
Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
I'm saying we need to start with ladies because this is a month, very important. 16 days.
Pass the ball to Madam Pori if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay,
Kristen,
great.
I'll let you start.
Thank you so much. I am Christine Poor Jurel, the Gender and Protection Program Manager for Action Against Hunger USA mission in South Sudan. So thank you very much, iRadio, for hosting us. And I would like to start with digital violence, which is our topic of discussion. And I would like to list out some of the forms of digital violence that happen to women and girls. So every day, women and girls face abuses online, and the platform that was formed for information sharing, for empowerment and participation has turned to be a platform that is now affecting women and girls. And some of the abuses that we have at the moment are the threats online toxic, sex abuse, and also the fake accounts, the use of personal images without consent, and also the sharing of intimate images and information without the consent of an individual, women and girls. And this has really been rampant, and having this talk show today is to call upon each and every one of us to protect the women and girls from digital abuse and exploitation online and offline. So let's protect our online space for women and girls, and let's support the survivors of digital violence.
Thank you so much. Over to you, Sarah Dio. Briefly tell us first of all about Nile Hope Organization before we venture into discussion.
Thank you for having me. My name is Sarah Dio Biel, and I'm the Gender and Youth Technical Lead at iRadio. So Nile Hope is a national NGO that was formed in 2004, has been operating in the country since 2004, and our initiatives or projects are mainly community-led, and we focus on things to do with protection, health, WASH, FSL, nutrition, and education, and also emergency response. So we've been working closely with women and girls, the youth and the adolescents, currently across Western Bargazal, Jonglei Estates, Upper Nile, Central Equatoria, and Pibor administrative areas. Over the years, we've seen Nile Hope developing programs in which integrate GBV protection into its ongoing programs, and also embedding elements of preventing sexual exploitation and abuse across all our programs. And just as I've stated, as online, or rather as we see more numbers of digital violence increasing as service providers, there's a need for us as national NGOs or just partners working across the country dealing with protection, for us to have more footing tackling issues to do with the technology facilitated GBV. So that's what Nile Hope does in a nutshell, or rather what my docket does in a nutshell.
Thank you so much for that brief introduction. As you rightly put, you work closely with young people. Can you briefly explain what digital GBV is and how it's widely spread among South Sudanese youth?
Okay, so in a layman's tongue, basically technology facilitated GBV or digital violence is any form of violence perpetuated online against survivors. And when I say online, this can be through your mobile phones, through messaging apps that you have, through the social media apps that you have, and just the online presence that is all around us. Just as like Christina had stated earlier, there are various forms of digital violence. It's just not one shoe fit all. We have doxing, we have revenge porn, we have sextortion, we have cyberbullying, we have harassing, we have stalking, we have even using my images to fake a plea or something of the sort. Yes, hacking accounts, unsolicited sex message that we all receive as females, and unfortunately, we've seen in our reporting, or rather in our work, that there's an increase in the number of cyber, or rather digital violence that's coming up. And this is because, first and foremost, we live in a very digital age. So adolescent people are starting to access smartphones, and with smartphones there's internet. So you'll find that MT and Zane Digital have cheap bundles for our adolescents to use and access the internet. We have cheap internet because of Starlink, so you'll find people in the evening hours outside your gate because they can easily access the internet. And also there's the fact that it's so unfortunate South Sudan has the highest number of unemployed youth. And with unemployment comes idleness, comes laziness, and you find that to kill time, people will easily access the internet and just browse whatever it is they'll browse without any guidance. And also at home, you'll find that our parents, our guardians are not really tech savvy. So when we have that access to phones and internet, as young people, it's very hard for our parents to guide us or control on what is happening. Also, there's the peer pressure that comes with it. So and so posted this picture, so it's only fair that I, as Sarah, post it for me to be deemed as famous, to be allowed into the crowd. And there's so much that goes on because it's so easy to influence young people amongst ourselves.
Mr. Clement, before you get into the discussion, can you tell us briefly about the CDF?
ACF.
ACF.
So that's Action Against Hunger. It's a French acronym because we are originally from a French background, and then but we are ACF USA. So ACF means Action contre la faim in French, but it's Action Against Hunger. And you can see we are a movement, an international NGO, which really try to provide life-saving, services within the communities. So our main focus is nutrition, health, also food security and livelihood. We also do WASH, like Nile Hope. We also have emergency programming across the country. Then gender protection comes as a cross-cutting issues, because you cannot talk about WASH or health or nutrition if you don't really look at issues that are affecting men and women in that particular community. So that's what we do in a nutshell. And we've been in this country since 1985. And we, as one of the biggest NGO, international NGO in this country, we commit to continue supporting South Sudanese communities to really live a better life and to survive, hard shocks. We are actually currently working on anticipatory actions. We need to anticipate flood, any other shocks that are affecting the community, and so that we can better prepare our response. Thank you so much.
Mr. Kilman, digital violence often is spread fast through social media. From CD's perspective, how can responsible messaging help reduce online harassment and victim blaming?
That's a very, very interesting question, right? It's unfortunately now we talk about technology, and technology is very important for us to survive. In countries that are very developed like China, you get children are spending time on creating innovative, apps, for making money. Kids are spending time to learning with technology, how to go to the moon, how to travel the world, to create like gadget. But in Africa, we really tend to use this technology for bullying other people. Especially in intimate relationships. And by the way, the digital bullying it's not really strangers who do that. It's really people around us. I think in South Sudan, there was one story where someone was just pictured with his boyfriend and something like that. Then you are in the intimate situation, and then you take a picture because you are caught of that moment, and then all of a sudden you see it out there on social media. TikTok, now it's like a buzz. So when you look at, just take time to go through South Sudanese TikTok, you see really it does not reflect our culture. It does not reflect really the reality. So we are using TikTok instead of sending good messages there for reducing poverty in this country, pushing for advocacy for unemployment and other issues that we are affecting as a country, but we get people to use that TikTok currently for bullying other people, for really inappropriate picture and something like that. So let's take an opportunity to use technology and the media platform for growth, for growing as a community, rather than really bringing this other conflict, Later on I will talk about what is called disconnectors versus connectors. Disconnectors are things that disconnect us, and the connectors are things that really connect people. Technology should really connect us, but currently we are seeing that because of digital bullying, which includes cyberbullying, we get a disconnection in the community. So that's what I would say.
Sarah Dio, from your experience, what unique pressures or digital threats do adults and girls face that older women may not?
First and foremost, like I had mentioned earlier, adolescent is a quite tricky age, so it's easy for them to be peer pressured into posting pictures that they don't know have digital footprints and consequences later in life. So peer pressure is number one. After posting a certain picture because you felt the need to validate yourself amongst your peers, comes the cyberbullying. Some like, oh, you're too short, you're too fat, you're too tall, you're too black, you're too orange, you're too what and whatnot. This later has a psychological effect and also a physical effect on this adolescent youth. And then there's also the aspect that people don't really talk about. You'll find that there's grooming. As a 14, 15-year-old, I'll not be able to understand what an older man is doing when he's sexting me, messaging me.
Yeah.
I'll not understand in my head that he's actually grooming me, preparing me for sexual relationship that I really did not want to be part of. And then you find that they also end up controlling you. They're like, oh, if you don't send me these pictures or these videos, no financial assistance for you anymore. And also with posting all these pictures and videos on social media, you find that once it's a negative picture or video, there's stigma associated with it. So you find your friends, your colleagues, even the school or community at large will tend to shun you away and be like, oh, so why did you post it? Why did you do that? We don't focus on the victims' well-being, or rather we continue to accelerate the perpetrator's intentions. Yeah, I think that's all in a nutshell, unless my colleagues want to add on to something.
Yes, Kristen, do you have something to add on that?
Yeah, thank you. For many girls, being followed online on social media by people they don't know, and also some of the people they know, and they are being pressured, as you say, to share in some pictures and some sex videos which are later used to manipulate them. And people are not talking about the psychological impact of this technology facilitated abuse that women are facing, and especially the adolescent girls, because the trauma comes back, the stigmatization comes back to the women, and men are not being mentioned, and they are not receiving the accountability for their action. Instead, the adolescent girls are being asked, why are you exposing yourself to this kind of situation? Why did you share such a video and this picture? So this situation does not allow the adolescent girls to really feel comfortable to express themselves and to grow. So that's really, we need to drive our minds out of the norms that affect the adolescent girls and come up to how to groom these adolescent girls to be able to have a good life.
Very interesting, very interesting. Mr. Clement, what do you say about this?
Yeah, that's very, very complicated story. So, they all both really express so well. And as a man, I'm really feeling so guilty because I'm the perpetrator here. I feel so guilty because, when you actually have an intimate relationship with your partner, it's about protection, right?
Right.
So if I ask you, let's have a nude picture, for example. I don't know for which reason. Well, we could be on a call, on a
video call.
A video call is like, oh baby, oh sorry, I want you to actually strip for me, something like that. This is what happened, right? A picture, send me a picture, something like that.
Yeah.
So common situations, of course.
It's about that relationship, and it's about trust, really. So to be able to, and that is supposed to be for the two of you, like to be able to, to put it on the public layer, it's a crime, and I feel so really bad for men who do such a things out there.
Yeah.
By the way, it is really the abuse of constitutional right of women, because women have got right to privacy. We have right to privacy.
Sure.
And these are issues that maybe at the end of the show we need to plead, to our fellow young men to really stop. It has to end, because love is supposed to be connecting us. I talk about connectors and disconnectors.
And not destroy us.
Yeah, but not destroying us, right? So yeah, thank you so much. I lost my words. I didn't know what to say because I feel so ashamed to sit here as a man among these ladies. And
thank you.
Yeah.
We still have good men out there.
Thank you so much, Clement, Sarah and Kristen as well. It's very interesting. Before we go for a short break, I want to throw in this question: What makes you believe that all these common practices are being done by men only? Would you say there are no situations whereby men are also not victims of such situations? We might have seen also the same, let me say nude stories from men being shared. Who do share such, if I may ask?
Well, this goes to both. It's actually the males and females. However, we always tend to support the vulnerable side. And that is not just supporting them for the sake of supporting them. But you see that some of these videos that go out, women get stigmatized. And they also get the blame, right? And at some point, most of the videos, I mean, some of us have come across these videos, right? And you see for the male, let me go practical here. For the male, you see their private, you want to see their private parts, right? But for the women, they will show their private parts and also their faces. So that really shows the level of abuse and the intention behind why such things happened. However, on the other hand, men also go through such abuse in like manipulation and emotional abuse. And you say, you are a big man in government or you work for a national organization and you, for example, Clement, if you don't want me to destroy your organization for you, I am going to share this video. So he will go through the same situation. However, we are focusing on the side that has come out public and the level of the shame that women and girls face and the blame. For example, if I expose you as a gentleman, it doesn't have the same effects on you like compared to the to the woman. So for the woman, they will say, this is a wife of Mr. So and this is a daughter of Mr. So. Why is she? And the mother was having a history of having many men and all that, right? But we also have men that have a history of many women, and that story doesn't affect them so much. Yeah.
So I have to actually jump in here. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I think the issue here is about statistics, right? So that's what I'm saying. If you look at the majority of the guys who leak these
videos,
private videos, intimate videos or pictures are men, and mostly is to shame the other partner. Maybe the lady left you and you're not happy and you do that.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, I know I might be in trouble with so many men there. If you leak the private part of me, I'll be like, I'm a man.
Yeah.
It's become like, oh yeah, yeah.
You even take advantage of.
Exactly. You be like, oh,
that I'm a man.
Yeah.
Like I have many women.
Yeah. You make me popular there,
Right.
It's like a publicity. It's a publicity.
Yes.
Also, if you leak a video of me, I mean, we saw the story of Balthazar. You remember the guy from Balthazar,
Right.
It's a very controversial story, but many men were like, wow, this is a beast.
He's a champion.
He's a champion of that,
He's a King Solomon.
But imagine those women, the women that, the women who were there, they were called prostitutes. They were called names. Some were married, they even divorced. Some were, as he said, the daughter of so and so and so and so. And in some other places like South Africa, women like girls who commit suicide.
Right.
We have the story of Tamara in Kenya that you saw. The girl, she took her life because, for the men, they're like, wow, this girl can do this. It's like for the men, it's like more of a power. You give us back the power that we have. But for a woman, it becomes shame and something like that. So that's why I think during these 16 days, I think men, we need to we need to take ourselves out as victims and consider ourselves as the perpetrators to protect the most vulnerable, who are women.
That is powerful. What do you say on this?
I mean, my two colleagues have really mentioned everything. Technology facilitated GBV still lies with the normalization of women and girls being beneath our men and boys. And also something that is important to note is that this digital violence, it's rarely reported. And if it's really reported, it's only a small segment of even the women and girls that report it because of the shame and stigma that's associated with it. So it's very hard for Mr. Clement to come out and say, oh, you know, I was, what's it called? I was sexually harassed online or something. Why would I say that? Yeah? But as a lady, I'll feel more comfortable. And as you are aware, why we chose this theme for this year is because of the incident that happened really in Shirikat. You can notice how the flow of the conversation was. It was more about, well, why did she do it in the first place? Why would she do that? And one thing I really must say in terms of communications or people who have access to social media, I loved when the women intellectuals came all together and stood up in solidarity and decided to protect the survivor in that situation. Yes? They stood up for the survivor and their voice was one, that we're not going to allow this to happen to our girls. Yeah, it's not the first case to be reported, but the rage that it created, it's what really sparked this movement that is currently going on. So yes, men and boys do face this, but it's so hard for them to speak up, just like the way they face any other form of violence in their day-to-day life. Yes.
And digital violence is real. Like people say, does it exist? Digital violence exists. It's real. And it's time for us to bring it to everyone's attention that survivors of digital violence need support, and also the cyber security needs to be strengthened. And we call upon all partners and the government to be able to support, because this digital violation is affecting our generation, and we are entering into the technology world, and there's no way we can be able to avoid technology because abuses are happening. So we need to stand up to stop digital violence and exploitation.
Thank you so much, Clement. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much, Poor, and you as well. My listener outside there, today is the second day of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, and the theme for the wall is End Digital Violence Against All Women and Girls, while South Sudan's national theme hedges us to protect women and girls from digital abuse and exploitation. We have explored and we continue to explore the risk women and girls face online, the needed reforms and practical solutions that protect digital spaces. Stay with us. Let's go for a short break and we shall be right back.
Thank you.
هل بتفتش على راديو مثالي؟ آي راديو هو جوابك. ليه تختار آي راديو؟ في 5 الأسباب المغنادل. الثقة والوصول. بيعتبر آي راديو المحطة الإذاعية الأكثر ثقة وشعبية في جنوب السودان، مدعومة بالاستطلاعات الأخيرة مع قاعدة مستمعين مخلصين. حتصل رسالتك إلى جمهور واسع بشكل فعال. شبكة واسعة النطاق. آي راديو ليست مجرد محطة إذاعية، إنها شبكة من المحطات المترابطة. لم تكن شريك مع آي راديو. سنقوم ببث برنامجك عبر مواقع متعددة مثل واو، أويل، كواجوك، يامبيو، بور، رنگ، ملكال وباليت، وبيضمن أقصى قدرة من التغطية والتأثير. التواجد الإقليمي. بتمتد بصمة آي راديو إلى ولاية غرب وشمال بحر الغزال، غرب والاستوائية الوسطى، جونغلي، أعالي النيل ووراب. من خلال التعاون مع آي راديو يمكنك التواصل مع المجتمعات المتنوعة والجماهير المستهدفة في المناطق ديل. مشاركة المجتمع. الشراكة مع آي راديو بتعني التعامل مع مجتمعات على مستوى الشعبي. رسالتك حتوصل للمستمعين في مواقع مختلف، مما يعزز التفاعلات الهاتفة ويزيد الوعي بعلامة تجارية. التغطية الشاملة. مع محطات في مواقع استراتيجية زي الرنج، ملكال وباليت، بتوفر آي راديو تغطية شاملة بتصل إلى كل من المراكز الحضرية والمناطق الريفية. بتضمن شراكتك مع آي راديو الرؤية عبر منطقة جغرافية واسعة. ما تفوت فرصة توسيع نطاق رسالتك باستخدام آي راديو. شارك أو أعلن معنا الليلة وخلي صوتك مسموع في جميع أنحاء جنوب السودان.
The Sundown For the news, views, opinion, debates, and discussions, listen to Who is Who, talking about issues that affect our country and continent, only on the Sundown, your eye on South Sudan.
Welcome back from that short break. Today is the second day of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And here in the studio in the first hour, of course, I'm joined by three experts from this particular discussion. We have Sarah Dio, Gender and Youth Technical Lead at Nile Hope Organization. We have Mr. Clement Buzi, the Country Director Action Against Hunger. And we have Kristen Por from Action Against Hunger as well. Welcome back. Now to continue with discussion, let's begin with you, Kristen Por. Based on your agenda work, what are the most common forms of digital violence women and girls report in your program?
As I said earlier, most common digital violence that women face are the online threats and also fake accounts impersonating a person, using their picture to abuse other people online, and also sharing of intimate images without consent of the person, and also the intimate videos. So these are some of the forms that women and girls are really facing across the country, and we all can attest to that South Sudan in the last 3 months have really been facing some of these challenges, and some of these digital abuses that are happening. You can receive them online, on Messenger, on Facebook, TikTok, but others are offline. People send you messages of threat, and you are forced to comply, and that is really a high level of cohesion. You need someone to adhere to your exploitation. So those are some of the violence that women and girls are facing right now, and it's time for us to really admit, and we need to hear from everyone, are these the things that we are facing, and what do we have to do about them?
Sarah Dio, what role should youth-led initiatives and community structures play in raising awareness and prevention of digital violence?
First and foremost, when we look at a community as a whole, I believe that our community leaders, our intellectuals, our parents and guardians can play a very big role in shunning the perpetrator and not victim blaming. We need to first shift the focus from the victim and focus on the perpetrator and the crime. When you go back to we look at the structure of the youths and the adolescents, in schools, if we have the school clubs, the girls clubs, community action groups, we can use these structures to push the narrative of having a safe digital space for each and everyone, both girls and the boys. And also we can look at things to do with when you have tech savvy organizations like what's it called, Safetycom, I'm not sure of the name, or even Accra. They really lead on digital awareness and how to use it safely. These are things that we can lean towards, to organizations that we can lean towards to help us. And then also as young people who are very also knowledgeable in terms of technology and how it's shifting, we learn from each other. So it's only fair for us to teach other positive things about the technology, and also teach our parents how to, not successful, but rather monitor social media or how technology is being used in their households. And also for us parents, let's not be quick to, punish. Let's also be very accommodating to learning, because you're never too young or too old to learn. And life is novel. There's always something new to learn. Yeah. So that's what I can say. And also use of arts. We can use arts, we can use music, drama to push a narrative. Right. Yes, like yesterday during the launch of the 16 days campaign, we had at the JCC school, and they had a fake news about what digital violence is. It really captured everyone's attention. So you can imagine the imprint it leaves, or rather art has, on changing, behavioral and social norms. Yeah.
Mr. Clement, Action Against Hunger works in many communities. What gaps do you see in digital literacy, and how are they contributing to exploitation online?
Yes. So, by the way, I just need to say that we are one of the few organizations in this country that operate in the very remote area where there is no access to healthcare system, water. You know, there's an area close to Boma Park. It's called Kasingor. Like we and also African parks, which are there, and we are providing services. So we will realize that we are the only organization that is giving access to internet to our staff, but then the community come and hooks to it. Yeah. So limited awareness of online risks for many young people is there. Parents need to understand these risks, you know. Identify scams. There are a lot of scams that are going on there, and especially what she said, Sarah, earlier, that South Sudan has got the highest number of young unemployed people or young people who are also poor. So you are likely to be lured into this by scams. You come, I'll give you this money. I mean, you know, you get these messages, as she said, like, oh, please, we're going to give you this. And again, girls become more attracted rather than victims because they want to fit in with the new designer clothes, with the new just to fit in, and then they get lured. So we need to really first. So there's limited awareness on scams, misinformation about the whole digital, you know, violence. People think like, I mean, if I take a nude picture, I post it there, it's not a crime. It is a crime. And the low understanding of people is right, and the constitutional right, and the human right. For example, I'm not so aware of about the constitution of South Sudan, but I know in other countries, right to privacy is really a constitutional right.
It's also there.
It's there, exactly.
The Constitution of South Sudan,
exactly.
yeah.
So in other society, when you post a nude picture of somebody, you are actually infringing their constitutional right. You could be actually arrested. It's a crime, you know. So this kind of misunderstanding need to be clear so that people understand that whatever I do, I could be actually put in front of the court and defend. The last one is really the power dynamics that we're talking about. So this gender power dynamics, do women have more access to digital skills than men? I don't know in South Sudan. But based on TikTok, I think women have got more access to digital space than us. I think so. I don't know. Maybe, please, I don't want to be in trouble with these ladies here. So, and that's it, the misunderstanding. And actually, I'm seeing some men are saying, like, TikTok is for ladies. I don't know. But in other countries, we've got good TikTokers. Even in this country, I follow some of them. So we need to understand harassment, manipulation. What is manipulation, harassment, something like that. One thing that I want to say to ladies, please don't trust anybody, including yourself, when it comes to privacy, your right to privacy. Don't trust anybody, including yourself. Which means that when someone says, send me this or do this, I'm going to just put a question mark on why do you need this? Why do you need that? Why? Because you will end up being a victim, so, or a survivor. So, just how you protect yourself. Thank you.
Sarah, Clement, and Christine, can we give callers at least 2 minutes or 3 minutes? Maybe you also need to hear from them. We don't have a response to their questions. I think we have a caller. iRadio. Try again, 0911-986-986, 0922-986-986, and participate in this program of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. iRadio.
Good evening, Mapal.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, it's Diang.
Oh, Diang from Wow.
Yes.
Today is 16 days of activism against gender-based violence.
Yeah. 16 days of activism.
And they are saying we have to protect our women, girls, and children.
Actually, 16 days of activism fight gender-based violence. And it's good that we have very strong gender activists in the studio. Actually, I have a couple of questions, but I will put it in narrative form. There is this scenario where gender-based violence becomes it is wrongly taken in Africa and become a problem, the fight, a war between men and women.
And women.
I think Nigeria and South Africa is getting worse. They are the first African countries to adopt gender-based violence. There's a lot of protocols that protect women and girls, but it's gone worse. So men look at themselves, become victims, and them looking at themselves become victims. They become more perpetrators. They are now fighting girls, and you get that most of the violence are happening in South Africa. Now there is video going on now live, viral online on TikTok about the concert being conducted, and a lot of issues happen with the girls.
Now, dear Indian, what question do you have for the guest in the studio? Be straight.
Trying to put gender issues when we talk of online cyber bullying and what they talked about just now, because according to the themes of this year, we have seen a lot of content online, and we believe that these contents are posted by women themselves. So, what is connection of men here being the one? That is one question. Another question is that the Western countries who are now immersed with protection of women, they are the one also who have all these platforms like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagrams, and also Twitter, X, and plus YouTube. And also they are paying. Some other countries they have monetization where the content creators have been paid, and still they are not actually controlling this situation where such content like
I think the question is beyond our capacity, including myself who's in the studio, because we do not have the capacity to control social media platforms. But then let's ask
the creators, the owners of the platform themselves, like Facebook company. Why are they not able to remove such content instead of blaming those who enforce it? Why the company is not protecting the women and girls in the state?
Okay. Thank you. Hello.
Yes,
Mapal. Community advisor all the way from Bor.
Yes, let me give you a good thing, and let me welcome our guest in the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Yes, my question is very simple. In Western world, there is no dowry paid when you want to marry a wife. There is no dowry demand by the parents. And here in Africa or in South Sudan, we do pay dowry as the reward for the bringing up that lady, and to you to go and control that lady as your wife. Is it part of GBB? Number one. Number two, in Western world, if you are with your wife and your wife feels to have sex with any man and you are in your family, she will go and bring that man to your house and you will be silent. Did they stop that, or is not a part of GBB?
Thank you, community advisor.
Why South Sudan and Africa are addicted to GBB?
Thank you. We'll have one last caller, and then we give our guest in the studio to answer the questions. Radio. Hello.
Yes, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
The checkpoint.
Yes, Isaac. You're welcome. 1 minute, please.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the guys in the studio. I think the problem between our customers, we, I said if you had a good Horea. Horea Jede, I will go back to car bigger in the Abuhat command bigger maganin to do it. Umat, Ayaza, bigger maganin. I will go beneath them to Mother, over then the cinema was in Mother. In the my channel could be sent over then them to do to take a time. I don't know Horea de Al Jabo, there is freedom. Al freedom below. Al Jabu to be Sudan, a bit of shoes. Making it to you, those who are saying that there is 16 days of exhibition. How did it affect us, this freedom? No, Galo freedom, that man, what are the limits of this freedom?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And here we'll not be able to pick any other call because we are left with about 5 minutes, and maybe we can use this for guests to answer the questions that were posed by the callers, and then also have the conclusive questions, and and we call it an hour. You can start answering questions, I think, Christine, if you are ready, if you don't mind.
Pick any question.
Briefly,
Any question.
answer it.
Great. Thank you so much. I'm just wondering whether I should start from the content creators online or controlling wives and freedom. But let me start with freedom, right? The last caller was saying that now we have so much freedom. Girls have phones and parents don't stay at home. So you will end up seeing that the girls are using their phones and they may end up having their digital abuses online there. So the message we would say here is that for you girls, women and girls, stay safe and keep your accounts private. Use a strong password and avoid sharing personal information with strangers. As Clement said earlier on, you don't have to be sharing intimate pictures and videos with other people because you don't know how it's going to be used. And on that freedom, it is the freedom that we have gone into now. We are entering into civilization. So parents are working and adolescent girls are going to school. So shall we not use phones? Should we not have internet access? We are going to use internet. We are going to have phones. But what we have to do is to use them responsibly and use them positively to innovate, to have innovation, and to also use it for empowering each other, but not to abuse ourselves to share intimate pictures that will harm the integrity of people. So for you girls, remember that anyone who pressures you to keep a secret or to share some information with them or photos or meets them in private, is that person is trying to harm you. So if you find threats online and on your phones, please block the accounts or report them. So that is the message I can say as in line with our national theme.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. One minute for you, Edio.
Okay. Wow, I don't even know where to begin. The earlier caller stated something about women always the first people to post pictures that lead to cyberbullying or digital violence, which is true to some extent. I myself, as Sarah, I've seen other females being quick to body shame and name call another female and bring her down. It says a lot about you as a person. You lack integrity, you lack depth. Yeah, for you to be comfortable and be a keyboard warrior and attack someone that you've never met says so much, if not so little, of you, how insecure you are. Yeah, so it's true, women do perpetrate, but like I've stated earlier, it's so hard for digital violence to be reported. Even as service providers, when you look at our case management, we've not really input a technology facilitated GBV into our reporting system. We don't have that yet because it's something still novel that we're still figuring our way around it. So yes, not only men are the perpetrators, but also women are. And then the issue of why we're always talking about GBV in South Sudan and Africa as a whole. We're still talking about GBV in South Sudan. Let me bring you back home because yes, GBV is happening all over the world, but also statistics dictate. And so you always find us having campaigns year in and year out because we want our statistics to reduce, just like that of our neighboring countries. We even, as a service providers, we're tired of having the same repetitive messages year in, year out. Don't beat your children, don't beat your wife, don't beat your husband, let your schools, let your girls be in school, let your boys be in school. Yeah, we're tired of saying the same thing, but also we understand that it's very challenging to change a normalized perspective. It's very challenging to change a very patriarchal society. People don't know this, but our societies were very matriarchal back in the days, back before colonization. There was respect for women, and that's what we're just asking for. Let's do away with the negative norms that harm us, and instead foster something that is greater for each and everyone of us as a whole.
Thank you so much, Sarah. We are actually time bad, but I would be gracious enough if you are to answer only one general question for all of you in just 30 seconds, if you don't mind. What collective actions across government, communities, NGOs, media and families are most urgently needed now, to make sure South Sudan's digital spaces are safer for women and girls?
Okay, thank you so much. So
20 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds. First of all, I am a bit disappointed that the callers were only men. So it raises again another issue of access to digital, or airtime, space, something like that, right? So I don't know. Next time, if you've got ladies where you are there, please come and speak for yourselves. Come, ask questions, right? Then what we need is this kind of conversations. That will be my other words, because there's so many confusion. When a caller says, like, I pay dowry to control my wife, I feel like, ooh, where are we going here as a community? So we need these conversations, right? And we want the iRadio to really reach so many thousands of people in this country to ensure that we have the space to discuss and try to find a solution as Africans.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yes, Sarah.
For my last part in short, this goes to both the media pages we have across different social platforms. Please, let's learn to authenticate our information. Let's not just be quick to reshare a story or a picture when we know it's very harmful, just for clickbait, for engagement, or to increase your numbers. It's not worth it, because at the end of the day, there's something called defamation of character. And just the other day, if our listeners are not aware, our parliament did pass the bill on cyber security law. We're just waiting on our president to ascend it, and you can imagine the harm that will come with it. In as much as there's freedom, but also freedoms have limitations. So let's be wise about what we are posting and sharing. And lastly, maybe to the telecommunication companies, we need more awareness on how to safely use this platform, and if we have to curtail things, and nap it in the bud before it expands into a very big situation, we need to learn that. That's it from my end.
Thank you. I have
seconds.
2
5
messages
seconds.
only. One, speak out against digital violence, everyone. Women, girls, and boys in this country, South Sudan. And my second message is, let's all work together to create a safe digital space where women and girls can learn, where they can connect, and where they can thrive. So if we create a toxic environment for them, they will not thrive, they will not learn, they will not have digital literacy. So those are my 2 messages, and I hope you can be able to expand them on your understanding. Thank you.
And here we have come to the end of our talk show for this particular item. Thank you for staying with us, Sundown. As we observe the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, let's remember that digital rights are human rights.
Right.
Every woman and girl deserves safety, offline and online. A special thank you to our guest, Sarah Dio, Christine Paul, and the only man among the women, Mr. Clement Nguzi, for all your insights today. On behalf of iRadio, thank you for listening. Let's continue to speak out, act, and advocate for safe digital spaces for all. Good evening.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Bye.